IPL, BBL, what the hell?
It's very confusing for patients because IPL stands for intense pulse light and BBL stands for broadband light. They're the same exact thing. So this is not laser. This is photodynamic light therapy. So these are different ways that companies have tagged this particular technology over the years. So in the beginning, going back, like 20 years ago or whenever it was that IPL first entered into the genre, it was called exactly what the actual technology is, intense pulsed light. So IPL. But IPL is the number one thing that patients will get burned for, not laser. You would think laser would be the number one in the country. In America, the number one thing patients are getting burned for consistently over every single year is IPL. So knowing this, the Cyton company, which is a privately owned, very successful laser company that sells lasers and intense pulse light systems, rebranded it as BBL, so broadband light.
Gotcha.
BBL, IPL, it's the same thing. They will target browns, they'll target reds. So you can treat rosacea, redness, you could treat brown spots. These are both things that will stimulate collagen growth. So you'll see a little bit of anti-aging from either targeting reds or browns, but they fire through crystals that are at very specific nanometers. They're not laser energy. So it's not as deep. They don't go as deeply as lasers do. They're more shallow targets for vascular and dyschromia with melasma, with hyperpigmentation, whatever you're treating your target is. But at the end of the day, like you said, IPL, BBL, what the hell? Same exact thing.
It just kind of like went to the witness protection program, got a new identity, and came out.
Yes, absolutely.
So what about when it comes to Fraxel and Frax?
Same thing. So Fraxel, and this actually irritates me because Fraxel is the first fractionated laser company. It's a brand name, but they were the very first to market. And from then to now, that company has been sold numerous times. And over all the years that they have been sold, every time the new company takes over, they do a marketing blitz and you see Fraxel comes back out again and they make it new and exciting. However, the technology has only been upgraded as far as all my extensive research following Fraxel since the beginning. It's only been upgraded twice.
Oh,
so
really?
This is antiquated fractionated laser. We have fractionated laser now that is extremely updated and it's the best of this technology. So it's safer, you need less passes. And for darker skin types now, again, there are different levels of fractionated lasering. Candela Medical refers to it as Frax and Cyton refers to it as ProFrac. So again, different names for the same treatment.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for a fractionated laser treatment, I always tell my patients, give me 2 seconds to let me educate you. I'm not saying Fraxel's bad, it's just outdated. You're going to need 7 or 8 passes of building heat to cover that same 30 to 40% of treatment area per section of skin that we're working on rather than just 1 pass or 2 passes. So it's a big difference in comfort level. It's how rapidly we can target, how accurately we can target, and how safely we can target. All these things have changed. So remember, Fraxel is a trade name. So please don't call me and ask me for Fraxel.
And what about when it comes to the time of year or season? Does it matter when you get lasers done? Is there an ideal time?
Well, you'll hear a lot and see a lot on advertising right now that it's laser season. So even if you're in a sunshine state and you're not in the upper East Coast like we are here in New York and New Jersey, where it's technically winter, we're in the winter season, the Earth doesn't rotate as close to the sun as it does in the summer months. So laser season is considered the wintertime, no matter what state you're in, because the sun and the UV rays are not as intense as they normally are during the summertime. So it's laser season. You see that all over the place. It's laser
because there's
season,
sensitivity to the sun. So if you get this treatment, you want to be avoiding that as much as you can.
Absolutely. So depending on the laser treatment or the IPL, it's a lot of sun withdrawal time. So classically 3 weeks of no direct sun exposure prior to treatment, and then no direct sun exposure immediately after treatment, and no direct sun exposure in between. So for example, Your average IPL series of intense pulse light treatments will be 3 to 4 treatments once every 3 to 4 weeks.
Hmm.
So, just to make it simple, for layman's terms, let's say a patient's coming for 4 treatments once a month.
Hmm.
So, for 3 weeks before, no direct sun. Then for those 4 months, no direct sun. And then for 3 more weeks after the final treatment, minimum, no direct sun. So this is your entire winter, no direct sun exposure.
Got you.
So when you're looking for IPL, BBL, laser treatments,
What the hell?
yes, exactly. You have to think, what the
Yeah.
hell? Because you actually have to consider your travel and your sun exposure. Like,
Hmm.
what are your upcoming activities? Can I fit this properly in? Because you don't want to start a series. If it can be avoided, don't start a series and then break, and then 3 weeks later go on vacation and then try to pick up your treatments again later on, because we're trying to provide you a cumulative benefit. So if you just randomly get treatments here and there, you're just kind of throwing things at the wall
It's
to
like
see
starting
what'll
from the
stick.
beginning again. Yeah.
Yes. So every single time you're just starting over, because we're fighting the daily aging process.
Hmm.
So do yourself a favor, save the money, and schedule properly for your timing. So then you're going to be happy because you'll see the results that are coming through that we're helping you to achieve.
Gotcha. I didn't know scheduling was so important.
Absolutely. Got to stick to it. Like, we jump in there with you
Yeah.
and we're committed to your cause. So you
Yeah.
got to work with us,
That is true.
and
It really is a big commitment between both parties too. Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. And unfortunately sometimes we get more committed, we feel, than the patients do,
Hmm.
because they want to get the results, but then they're like, "Oh yeah, I forgot. I can't make that appointment, and I have to reschedule this other appointment, and now I went in the sun, so now you have to start all over again 2 months from now." And it's like, "That's great. I'm glad you're enjoying your life, but you're spending money and investing your time to come here, and we really want to see you get those
Hmm.
get your results." But
Yeah.
if you don't follow the designated time that we script out for you, then it's very frustrating for us, and it can be very frustrating and, a little bit of a time suck and a waste of time for you.
Hmm.